In terms of sparring, we got some great guys coming in. Some really experienced southpaws that are smaller. I think Montana Love is coming in. Shakur Stevenson wants to come in. Jermaine Ortiz. We're gonna hit up Erickson Lubin, some of these guys. So we're just gonna bring in a plethora of fighters that are fast, quick, shifty south.
Hello, Alvarez. Shakur Stevenson has no relationship with Jake Paul. None. We heard, oh, Boots is a sparring partner. How much you got paid for that? So now, isn't that also applicable to Shakur Stevenson? Is he not also a sellout?
But again, I want to see them fight. I want to see some aggression. Tank would have that if it was anyone he actually felt was worth it. I just don't know if he thinks Jake's worth it. Again, I get that feeling that he just is there.
Jake Paul has surprised many by bringing in Shakur Stevenson for sparring ahead of his fight with Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Paul explained that Stevenson himself wanted to be part of the camp, adding another layer of preparation to his training. Alongside Stevenson, Paul's team has gathered several skilled southpaws to give him the looks he needs. What stands out is that Paul and Stevenson never...
Yeah, in terms of sparring, we got some great guys coming in. Some really experienced southpaws that are smaller. I think Montana Love is coming in. Shakur Stevenson wants to come in. Jermaine Ortiz. We're gonna hit up Erickson Lubin, some of these guys. So we're just gonna bring in a plethora of fighters that are fast, quick, shifty.
Have no history. This has led some to believe financial factors may have played a role. When asked about the matchup, Stevenson admitted that if he were in Tank's position, he would see the fight from two angles. From a business standpoint, it makes sense because of the money and attention involved. But as a fighter, Stevenson said he personally wouldn't take that type of bout. His comments show the fine line in modern boxing between career decisions and pure competition. At the official press conference, things heated up when Paul and Tank shoved each other. While it looked intense, many observers believe it was more about promotion than real anger. These moments are common in today's boxing.
Shakur Stevenson reached out to Jake Paul in support of him preparing for Gervonta Davis. Help me understand, what is the difference between Boots Ennis reaching out to Canelo Alvarez in support of his preparation for Terrence Crawford versus Shakur Stevenson reaching out to Jake Paul in preparation for his fight with Gervonta Davis? Tell me, what is the difference? I'll tell you what the difference is. The Ennis family actually had a relationship with Canelo Alvarez. Shakur Stevenson has no relationship with Jake Paul. None. We heard, oh, Boots is a sparring partner. How much you got paid for that? So now, isn't that also applicable to Shakur Stevenson? Is he not also a sellout? I don't want to hear anything about this fight. It's against a YouTuber, it doesn't matter. No, Shakur Stevenson is an elite level fighter that is going to be a sparring partner to a YouTuber, and he reached out to him directly to make it happen?
Commentator Showbiz believes a Tank victory would make him a hero among fans who are eager to see Paul lose. For some, it's about more than just a fight. It represents traditional boxing standing strong against the influence of social media fame. Former champion Timothy Bradley has been direct, calling this an easy matchup for Davis. He argues that Tank's experience and skill make the fight low risk while still offering major rewards. Bradley views it as a smart business move that benefits both fighters, but one where Tank has the clear advantage. Paulie Malignaggi added that the fight location in Florida is no accident. It gives the event...
Can you blame a man for taking that opportunity? Because this is prize fighting, right? It's about making money and securing your family. Can you fault him for that?
It's two sides of that. Like,
okay.
It just depends. Like, as a fighter, just because I had a draw with somebody, for me, I may run it back. But in a business aspect, if you run it back and you lose to Lamont, and then the Jake Paul fight is presented, you may not make as much money, or the fight may not be as lucrative as it was before you lost. So as a business, I understand. I ain't going to hate on the decision, but as a man
your
and
pride
as
will
a
get in the way.
Fighter with my integrity.
Yeah, but isn't there a price for everything, Shakur? Like, even if you had a draw with somebody and you were offered 10 times more than you ever. I don't know what the number is, but it's a lot more than he's ever made.
Designed to create buzz and push pay-per-view sales. Still, the storyline is compelling. Will Paul's size be enough? Or will Tank's speed and skills win the day? Despite the entertainment value, insiders say Tank Davis is taking this fight seriously. His focus in training shows he knows the risks and rewards. Beating Paul could bring him both a huge payday and bigger recognition outside boxing. Experts warn Paul not to underestimate Tank, who is in his prime and far different from the older names Paul has been linked to. Maximum visibility, with easy access for fans, media, and celebrities. He believes the goal is to turn Tank into
orthodox matchup, left hand down the pipe. You can even see here, I'm not even trying to do the whole body language breakdown, but you could even see Tank could get under that left hand because he's 5-0. He could roll under that left hand, and here comes the brick hand over the top. If he lands something like that in 10 ounces, I'm going to tell you this. Jake's 200 and something pounds. That's still going to hurt at the very least, and who knows what, because Tank's got ridiculous power. So Jake, a little sloppy on the push there. He got pushed. He wanted to get it back. There's something to be taken away from that, but lines up perfectly for a counter left hand. And you even see his promoter here is kind of grabbing his left hand because Tank wanted to let it fly. And Jake backed up a little bit. He said, oh, and Tank comes with that. Tank, man. Tank said, where I'm from, the bullies get bullied. All right, dude, there you go. Listen, takeaways from this thing, I don't know. Tank seemed to have a little bit more energy today. He seemed to be more lively. Him going back and forth with the media, with Jay Leon, with Jake, with Aiden Ross. There seemed to be a bit more energy today. That's all I really asked for. So in terms of, selling us on something, sure. Better job today from both guys. Jake, seemed a bit more locked in here with Tank as well. They had a little bit more fun. Tank going after Nikisa was pretty funny. But listen, this doesn't change anything in my mind. The 10-ounce gloves doesn't really change anything to me. I mean, again, I think that's a bad idea for Tank, more so because even if Jake doesn't land clean, those are 10-ounce gloves, still going to hurt. Tank is still punching in gloves that are 2 ounces heavier than he normally uses, so I don't know how that's a win for him. The $2 million bet almost certainly won't happen, which I didn't think would in the first place, but Tank pretty much confirmed it. And we're all left with the same kind of idea that we thought about this to begin with. This is an entertainment exhibition that we know is going to draw a ton of eyeballs. I'm going to watch. And there's going to be great high-level competition boxing on the underneath card. And even in the main event, if something is to happen, if someone is to get knocked out, it will go mega viral. And both these guys are going to make a shit
to a household name by combining his talent with Paul's ability to draw attention. Promoter Nakisa Bidarian confirmed the fighters will use 10-ounce gloves, standard for lighter divisions, but declined to comment on whether a rehydration clause is in place. This uncertainty has fueled speculation about how the weight rules might affect the fight. By keeping details quiet, promoters are ensuring fans stay curious as the event gets closer. That wraps up today's breakdown. Never had any previous connection, which makes this partnership unexpected. Some analysts have questioned
in this particular in the press conference, and you can just look at him and tell, like, no, this dude he's going to get this money for sure because there's so much money out there to be had. But Jake Paul better be not playing around, man. Not get cute, not play any games. Don't hit him in the back of the head. Don't rabbit punch him. Don't do any of that stuff, man, because Mike Tyson. First, Mike Tyson, a lot of people think Mike Tyson was pulling punches on Jake Paul, and a lot of people think that Anderson Silva was pulling punches on him too. You're not going to have a little Gervonta out there pulling punches on you, man, if you're out there playing games. So, I don't like the fight at all. However, as far as it being an entertaining situation, I almost guarantee you that fight itself is going to be entertaining. That it's going to be something that you look at and you're going to say, man, everybody's going to watch it. Everybody's going to want to know what happens in it. But at the same time, it's kind of like what people think, when you see a car crash, like you're driving down the road and all of a sudden the traffic gets heavy and you're like, man, I'm going to be in traffic for a long time. And then you drive forward a little bit and then you see, oh, man, this is some accident on the other side of the road and everybody just slowing down to watch. That's the type of entertainment that you can expect from this fight between Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul. There's going to be a lot of people watching it, but I got to say, man, you really can't blame the guy on what he's doing. And there's a lot of criticism flying on Gervonta Davis. It's not Gervonta Davis's fault that boxing took this turn.
Sudden link, suggesting the move may be more business-driven than personal. Comparisons were even made to when Jaron Boots Ennis sparred with Canelo Alvarez before his fight with Terence Crawford. Unlike that situation where family ties existed, Paul and Stevenson, Jake Paul has surprised many by bringing in Shakur Stevenson for sparring ahead of his fight with Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Paul explained that Stevenson himself wanted to be part of the camp, adding another layer of preparation to his training. Alongside Stevenson, Paul's team has gathered several skilled southpaws to give him the looks he needs. What stands out is that
Gervonta "Tank" Davis stops that. If he is the one who stops this whole train, knocking out Jake Paul, he will become a boxing hero. People will then say, now get the hell out the sport. And I'm talking about from a fighter's perspective. That's what they're going to say. Now, it's not going to go on either one of their official records because it's an exhibition. But it doesn't matter because optically, visually, seeing that go viral, and I mean go viral, and Jake Paul will never hear the end of it.
Help you up. We're going to see about it. Help you up. We're going to see.
Because Gervonta "Tank" Davis is not only a real boxer, he's a real boy. He's 5'5". He's a lightweight. Skills pay the bills. Let him knock out Jake Paul, give him Bambi legs, or knock him down. Gervonta "Tank" Davis, that moment will go viral, and he will be a far bigger, well-known boxer than he is today, and he will also be a hero. And that's the Black Two Sugars. That you guys don't want to admit it. Don't bull jive. Think about it. He will be a boxing hero. It will go viral over and over. It's the same thing. No, not even the same. It's not even close. But there was a viral reaction when AJ knocked out Francis Ngannou.
Anthony Joshua can dispose of the MMA champion.
When AJ knocked out Francis Ngannou in the first round, it was like, now get out of here.
commentator Showbiz believes a Tank victory would make him a hero among fans who are eager to see Paul lose. For some, it's about more than just a fight. It represents traditional boxing standing strong against the influence of social media fame. Former champion Timothy Bradley has been direct, calling this an easy matchup for Davis. He argues that Tank's experience and skill make the fight low risk while still offering major rewards. Bradley views it as a smart business move that benefits both fighters, but one where Tank has the clear advantage. Paulie Malignaggi added that the fight location in Florida is no accident. It gives the event maximum visibility, with easy access for fans, media, and celebrities.
Innocence and say that it ain't fixed, because check this out. Tank ain't gonna lose this fight. Hell no. Hell no. Tank ain't losing this fight. Too many holes. Man, Jake don't have enough experience. Yeah, man, it's gonna be taking candy from a baby. You know, Jake is missing the rules. See, this is what happens when you don't grow up in the game. When you don't grow up in the game, man, at a young age, this is what happens. You know, you start reading your own press clippings. That's what Jake is doing. You know, fighting this lower level competition, and now he think he the ish. Now he think he the man. He ain't the man. You kidding me? He is not the man. Oh no. Yeah, false sense of security. Now he trying to pick on small folks, right? You know, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Yeah, I'm just saying size-wise. Yeah, that's another thing, boxing one-on-one. You can't pay attention to size. Hell no, I told y'all it's the size of the heart, right? In that damn dog. It ain't the size of the damn dog, and I told y'all that, man. Yeah, it's the same thing here. And it's about the smartest dog. Tank too smart for him. Tank got too much boxing IQ for Jake, man. This gonna be easy. Easy. Like I said, man, Tank, please. Please, man. Don't do this to boxing, bro. If there's anything, man, shoot. Man, we can put together some kind of like account for you, a GoFundMe account or whatever, bro.
Paul and Stevenson never had any previous connection, which makes this partnership unexpected. Some analysts have questioned the sudden link, suggesting the move may be more business-driven than personal. Comparisons were even made to when Jaron Boots Ennis sparred with Canelo Alvarez before his fight with Terence Crawford. Unlike that situation where family ties existed, Paul and Stevenson have no history. This has led some to believe financial factors may have played a role. When asked about the matchup, Stevenson admitted that if he were in Tank's position, he would.
There's obviously a reason why the networks wanted to make Gervonta Davis a star.
But let's look at it. And Robert, I want to ask you this. When you looked at the numbers for Canelo, his fight against Crawford, 41 million viewers. That's what they got. It was the most viewed championship fight of this century. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson got 108 million. It got more than double, significantly more than double. Is it the idea of the streaming services, Netflix, where they're following the numbers, Robert, and that's where the numbers are?
It's what we're coming to, the real fights, fights where they deserve to be seen throughout the world are, it's great. They have good numbers, but when you see guys, that are YouTubers, guys that are 60-year-old retired and coming back, and getting 2 times more than what a real fight, it's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of embarrassing, kind of sad that we're getting there, that we're in that situation. But I also can't blame them. They're all making a lot of money. That's why Tank is doing it. I think it's ridiculous. It's a joke. But I can't go against that either. He's making a lot of money. Jake Paul is doing his thing. Jake Paul is he makes these fights happen and gets the views. So people are tuning in. That's the problem, that people are tuning in.
He believes the goal is to turn Tank into a household name by combining his talent with Paul's ability to draw attention. Promoter Nakisa Bidarian confirmed the fighters will use 10-ounce gloves, standard for lighter divisions, but declined to comment on whether a rehydration clause is in place. This uncertainty has fueled speculation about how the weight rules might affect the fight. By keeping details quiet, promoters are ensuring fans stay curious as the event gets closer. That wraps up today's breakdown. Let's see the fight from 2 angles. From a business standpoint, it makes sense because of the money and attention involved.
At 195 max weight.
Okay.
10 3-minute rounds.
Okay.
And 12-ounce gloves. And most of you guys know boxing, right? Most of the fights are with 10-ounce gloves. Fighters spar in 16-ounce gloves. 12-ounce and 10-ounce gives you a little bit more safety, which is the key here, given the size difference, but there's a massive experience difference. We will have 3 world-class judges ringside that the commission has approved to ensure there's a rendered decision for the fans. It will not go on their record, but there will be 3 experienced judges, some of the best in the business, giving their view of who won the fight.
So let me just follow up with this then. The Florida statute says that it means an exhibition means a boxing, kickboxing, or mixed martial arts.
You saw the exhibition of Floyd and Logan.
Okay.
So just go with that, and if they weren't trying to hit each other,
Fair
then
enough.
tell me they weren't trying to hit each other.
What do you think Tank's gonna walk in at? 160?
That's up to Tank. What I can tell you is Tank is focused on coming in the best shape of his life. It's not about gaining weight. It's about having the speed advantage.
What can we expect on the UNCUT championship fights?
Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern, we'll announce 5 fights, 4 of which are title fights. So yes, you can expect to see another MVP fully stacked card. No prospects on a big show like this. Yes, go ahead. As in, how do the fighters prepare?
You and as well as the fighters train with you as promoter.
I mean, look, we started MVP 4 years ago with the mission to be fighter first, right? And I think like this event is exactly that. We're giving Tank a massive platform and opportunity for the world to see who that young man is. He's misunderstood in many ways, but at heart, he is a great human being who has a family and wants to do big things to make an impact on the sport and take care of his family. So we're excited about that. And in terms of preparing for this, it's no different than Mike Tyson, than Taylor Serrano. It's just another big event that's on a global scale.
Keith, is there a rehydration clause at all?
No comment.